Welcome back to a bit gamey and back to Wargaming. And this is thinking about other periods, because I started off thinking about ancients, Napoleonics and World War II, because that's what I did in my airfix days. And I started thinking about the size of the armies and size of the table, because I'd got a 5x3 table extended, but it shuts down to 3x3. And so I was thinking about what would be the best way to do it. To if you had to have if you had a 3x3 table or something really small, what's the best way of going about things? And the obvious answer is either to use really small figures or use a system like DBA, where you just got 12 elements and they play on a 2x2 table or battleground. And then you've got all the skirmish games, whether it's fantasy like something like Frostgrave or all the dozens of Osprey type skirmish games, and they're all good solutions. But I was kind of curious about how you could play a kind of standard type war game but on a small table. And I was thinking, I was messing about with that. And also in particular, I was reading a book called 1 Hour War Games, which is designed around a 3x3 table and it's a very small number of units. So I was thinking about that and messing about with it when I was looking at the ancients and stuff and Napoleonics. And I think the way to do it on a small table is to have small units. So not necessarily small figures, but just not have 30 odd sort of figures in the unit. And I came down to the idea that the kind of minimum you need is like 12, so like 3 bases of 4, and you need a period where there's only really line and column is the only kind of formation. So you can have your 3 bases in a column or a line. And then the other condition on that is to make up or to compensate for the fact that you've only got small units, and it's visually not as impressive as big chunky ones. Is you need a period where it's just line and column, and you have lots of flags or banners and pennants. There's lots of colour. So the flags compensate for the small size of units. And then watching other people's stuff, you eventually hit on the solution, which is there's because when I was looking at it, there's various things that kind of mess up this idea of having three bases of small figures. It's like anything to do with pikes is no good, because to me anyway, pikes they don't look good unless they're a big chunky mass of them. Elephants, chariots. There's all kinds of things which kind of mess up that kind of small unit basing type system. And so you say you want the right sort of period that allows these small units. And they've got to be colourful as well, so you've got to have lots of flags and banners and stuff. And so watching other people's stuff, in particular there's a medieval warrior and his Middle Ages stuff, and Seventh Son with the Wars of the Roses, and some other people I saw in passing, I can't remember the names now, doing 7 Years' War, or that horse and musket period, which actually ranges from War of Spanish Succession, War of Austrian, War of every bugger's succession, and 7 Years' War, American War of Independence. What's the other one? French and Indian Wars. There's a whole bunch of that kind of 100 years of 1700s, basically, up to the Napoleonics, whereas for whatever reason, I don't know why, they didn't really do square much, and they didn't do attack column, so it's all line and column. And to say lots of flags and colourful uniforms, so that would compensate for the small size of the units. So that kind of got me out of my block for ancients and Napoleonics. Is just switch it to early medieval or high medieval, early to high medieval, and 7 Years' War. Because I can't just do one. I mean, I've seen other people, they decide on a project and then they work on it until it's finished. Well, I can't do that. I'm too scattergun, so I need to have like 2 or 3 things on the go. But say the World War II is on the go. It's fine, and I needed some more. And So yeah, the sort of early to high medieval to replace the ancients, and 7 Years' War or horse and musket to replace Napoleonics. So you could probably guess from the pictures in the slideshow what the end result was. So yeah, so that's all good. So to get myself started on this new project, I've got so the unit's going to be like three 40mm bases. And so get myself started, I've got a packet of Austrian Fusiliers and a command pack. See if I can make these look good. Very nice figures. Crusader. Looking forward to painting them. If I can get them to sew up. No, one at a time. Still the arm? Yeah, it's on. Can it focus? Ooh, go on, boy. Yep, I just no idea how it looks. And a command pack. Very nice officer. Focus. Ooh, will it fall off? Ooh. Yeah, so anyway, officer. Standard bearer. I've got some standards somewhere. I've got some flagpoles and flags from Flags of War, I think. Drummer. Yep. Focus. Ooh, nearly. No, it doesn't want me. No, no one. Doesn't matter. Let's say, yeah. So I give myself a budget of 24 to 32 quid a month, because the speed with which I paint is like I've already got loads of stuff. I'm off behind. I've got a shelf of shame, as people call it. That's already, and it's huge, and it's pretty big already, because a lot of the original plan for Ancients and Napoleonics didn't work out. But yeah, so I'm pleased with that, because it's a nice sort of size to paint. I think the number of figures, and they're nice, very nice figures. Yes, that's it. I need to do some research on. Well, I need to research all of it, to be honest. But particularly, before I start on the feudals, I want to read up about pick a time and place for to do it. So that it's gets the same kind of deal. I want I want a time and place, and also a time where I can get a hold of all the flags and banners, because I know there's flags and banners for England, or things like the Wars of the Roses. I imagine there's probably some for France for 100 Years' War, but there may be other suppliers, like in Germany or something, that does flags and that for their period. Because the Holy Roman Empire would be an interesting sort of setting for a medieval thing, and also Italy is another place that could be particularly interesting with all the. But then it starts edging into Pike time there. I'm trying to avoid all the Pike periods, because I know what I'm like, and it's like I just don't like pikes unless there's like a big mass of them, and that kind of messes up the whole thing. So yeah, so I'm rather pleased with that. That's kind of got me out of my block. So that's that. I've got my little plan for back to Wargaming now. Skip Ancients, apart from doing iconic regiments through the ages. Then do actual small armies for medieval. Then skip over all the Pike period, from late medieval to pike and shot, to horse and musket, and then on to World War II. So that's because like I say, I need lots of little projects. I do as it kind of suits my mood. I'll do a battalion or whatever at a time for each of these different ones. Yeah, so that's all rather good. I'm pleased with that. I think that's it. To the bit.